Hi, welcome to my online card class for September 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, so welcome. So I'll just see if I can check if I've gone live in the right place. I normally get an email telling me I've gone live, so let me just double check and make sure that's happening. Yep, it says I'm live, so if you're out there, oh hi Lynn, I just had to say if anyone's out there, jump on and say hi. Hi, how are you today? It's the most beautiful day here, isn't it? Just gorgeous, just the most beautiful spring weather. Loved it. Sat outside in my egg chair this morning for I think it was about an hour and a half. It was so beautiful. So I hope you're doing well, and anybody else who jumps on, say hi. So as I said, this is my September online card class. Hi Margaret. So if you've signed up for that, you would have received your card package in the mail. I did get messages from those who did sign up and they all received them in time. Yay. It's always a bit of a worry because you never, I don't know, I don't trust Australia Post. So hi Deb, how are you? How's the recovery going from your knee surgery? Hope it's going well. So yes, everyone received their packages, so that was a really good thing. So we're going to make some cards using the beautiful gallery suite, and it is a glorious day, Lynn, just stunning. And I did cut everything up for you, but I haven't cut all my paper up because I wanted to show you how I did that. So we'll do that as we go. Now, heads up, this class, we're making 5 cards, so this normally goes for about an hour and a half. So I'll try and cap it at an hour and a half. But, you know, I'll do my best. You're getting there. Yeah. It's a bit of a slow recovery, isn't it? Getting that knee bending again. I remember my dad with his 2 knee replacements, and I mean, although they were a long time ago and technology and everything has changed a lot, but yeah, I remember him struggling to get the bend in the knee back and get it working again. But you will get there. Now, I'll go down to the craft desk. Now, before we start, I want to show you the handmade and heartfelt kit, which is the kit that's available for World Card Making Day on Saturday the 4th of October, which is our October long weekend, our Labor Day weekend. So, hi Marilyn. So if you're wanting to sign up to Stampin' Up to do it, just go to the Stampin' Up website or go to my online store and you can sign up to do the World Card Making Day class. It is a free class, but you will need to buy the kit if you're wanting to make the kit along with them on the day. And if you do register for the World Card Making Day event, we are told we will get a little gift afterwards, so that we'll get an email saying you've got a gift and that'll be posted out to us. So I have no idea what that bending the knees fine, it's just the pain. Oh dear, I'm sorry Deb. Lots of painkillers. Lots of painkillers. You will get a gift. Now I don't know what the gift is going to be. I'm imagining it might be like a packet of bling, but I don't know, so don't hold me to that. But if you want to register for the event and get the kit, you've still got time to order your kit and get it out to you in the mail. So yeah, so you just go to my online store. I am going to change that up the top of my screen to my online store, so in future I think that will be more helpful. And you can order your card making kit. Yeah, painkillers are your friend, absolutely. You can order your World Card Making kit and it will get to you in time because there's still like 2 weeks to go. So just thought I'd show you, I'll show you what is in the kit, and I've made half of it up. So let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. So let me, my mouse seems to, oh there it is working, there we go. Okay, so this is the handmade and heartfelt kit. I've got to move over. And it's really beautiful. You've got this little, I don't know what you'd call that, a desk caddy. That's what I'm going to call it. and you get 5 cards. These are the 5 cards, but you get 10, so you get 2 of each card to make, and it's just a really nice kit. It is $56, so that includes the desk caddy and the card kit and the stamp set and ink spot, all the bling, everything comes in it. So I'll show you over here. So this is the kit. So yeah, you get a little stamp set, and that's a really nice stamp set. Got some really good sentiments in it. Happy birthday, thanks so much, thinking of you, wishing you the best. That could be used for birthday. It's got a to and a from and hello sunshine. You get dimensionals, you get everything to make the 10 cards, baker's twine, a little clear block as well. And yeah, so that's what's in there. Well, that's half of what's in there. But this is the little desk caddy, and it's really cool, and I am going to use it on my desk to store lots of things. Where can I show you what I'm going to store? Look, perfect for my Tombow, great for, not that one, dimensionals, things like that. You could put your scissors in there. Or you could just use it like as a stationery storage thing, like have your cards here, stamps and stuff. It's quite sturdy, it's quite thick, durable cardboard, and it's got adhesive tape already on it, that when you just construct it, it does go together really nice and easily. But these are the cards that you'll get to make. Oh, up a bit. So that's one. It's got a hair on it. And that's another one. So they make really, and I actually made these 5 cards in half an hour. So they're really quite simple to put together, and you get 10 of them, 2 of each design. So if you're wanting this kit and you'd like to participate in World Card Making Day, see, I'm going to just pop them back in there. Just got to be careful because things are on dimensionals, so I don't want to pull anything off. Place your order in the next day or so to ensure that you get it in time for Saturday the 4th of October. But I think that's really lovely, and I'm going to use it, yeah, on my desk for bits and pieces. Okay. So this is, what is it? I'll show you the products we're using. It's in the annual catalogue, and it's the beautiful Gallery Suite collection on pages 52, 53, 54 and 55. It's the most beautiful suite I think we've ever had. It's just got, the paper is gorgeous, the embellishments are gorgeous, the linen thread ribbon is gorgeous, the embossing foil, everything is just gorgeous. So that's what we're focusing on today. I'll put that there, and I just want to show you the stamps. So there, it's a mega suite, so you get 2 stamps and die. Whoops, where are my dies? My dies are missing in action. What have I done with them? Oh, here they are. That's that die set. It's the embossing folder, and oh, that's that die set. So you get, yeah, 2 lots of dies and stamps. Now let's move that one away, and I'll show you this stamp set and die. So this can stamp and die cut all your images, and then there's all these standalone dies, and then you can also, there's this really interesting frame, and it cuts out 2 frames, a larger and a smaller one, and then a middle panel that you could use for stamping. So that's that stamp set and die bundle. And then you've got the beautiful motifs. So these are all standalone dies. They don't cut anything out of the stamp set, and this is all your sentiments. So this is a really nice stamp set too, and these are the dies. So these are the 2 standalone dies, and these ones don't fully cut out. They are like partial cuts, and they look really nice on cards as well. So I think this set could be used like for Christmas cards with a bit of fernery and things behind. So I'm going to sort of think about that. So they're the two sets in the beautiful gallery suite. Let me put that over there. Okay, so now if you're stamping and crafting along with me, you will need either Secret Sea ink pad or black memento, whichever you've got. I think Secret Sea works as well as the black memento. I put my black memento on a white craft uninked ink pad and inked it up with the black memento ink. That's why it looks a bit different. Where is the normal black memento? This is your normal black memento ink pad, but it's a felt ink pad, and I could never get a crisp image with that one, so that's why I did that. But I'm actually using Secret Sea a lot in place of the black memento lately, and Mossy Meadow. So they're the two inks you're going to need for this class. So put those aside and let's get cracking. Okay, I'll take them out of the plastic so that there's no shine, and I've also put a piece of grid paper down so there's no glare from my light, because I know that is very annoying and I try to get away with it. But I thought, not for a class. I won't do that for a class. Okay, so these are the first two cards we're going to make, and I hope you've got your cuppa. I've got my green tea here to sip along the way, because I thought, hour and a half, I'm going to need something. So I wanted to show you how I cut that paper. So I'm just going to get my little bits and pieces out of my bag. Your kit, if you're crafting along with me, will have all the pre-cuts there. So this one is going to, so the card base is cloud cover, and both of them. So we're just going to fold and score them in half. Well, they're already scored. Just crease them better. And I've got 1 and 2 on my bases. I do get so nervous doing these classes, I don't know why. And today seems to be next level, but we're going to get there. And that's going to be obviously the backing for your piece of designer series paper for card number 2. So this is 1 and this is 2. Let me move things over a little bit because I have got a little bit more room. Okay. And then this, maybe I'll put that there. This is your basic beige piece for card number 1, your background for card number 1. Okay, you will have a little piece of Mossy Meadow for card number 1. And you'll have a little strip of basic white, and that is just for your sentiments. And I'm using the sentiments from the Beautiful Motifs. But if you don't have that stamp set, any small sentiments that you have will work. You should have your embellishments all in a pack together. I thought that was the easiest way to do the embellishments. And you should have a bow as well. So I'll put mine there. But this is your one piece of 6x6 paper. And I wanted to show you how I cut it to get the 2 cards. So I got 2 cards out of one piece of 6x6, and I just cut it at 3 inches. So let's do it. Let's put that there. Get my trimmer. And how far up can I go with my trimmer? Okay. And I want to just make sure I've got my roses the way I want them. Yes. I guess it won't really matter, but so I'll put my paper in, and I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And sometimes using inches is way easier. So that's in half. I put that piece aside for card number 2, and this is going to be for card number 1. So I then cut it down. What did I do? Let me just look. Oh, it's on the back of my card. I know, I can look there. Basic 3 inches by 4.5. So I then put it in. So that's the 4.5 mark. I think I dropped the pen down behind my desk before I started. So this mark here is 4.5 inches. I'm just looking. Yes. So that's our scrap that's left over. Hang on to these because you can stamp on them, not on that side, but you could stamp on this side. So hang on to them. Now then I cut this. I just made these all 1.5 inch squares. So I cut it at 1.5 inches. And I put them on top of each other. And I'm still recording, I'm pretty sure. And then I put them back in at 1.5 inches and cut them. And that will give you 6 1.5 inch squares. So I've got sirens outside, sorry about that. So I'm going to just put those there for the moment because I will cut card number 2 as well. So with card number 2, we've got a 3 inch by 6 inches. And we're going to cut the first panel at 1.5 inches. That's that one. The second one at 2 inches. That's that one. And the next one at 1.5 inches. So that's that one. And then this is also scrap, but you could use that on another card. Don't throw it away. Okay, so that's card number 1 and card number 2 cut up. I wanted to show you how I did that. So let's push those ones onto that piece and these ones onto this piece. Now it's just a matter of putting a little jigsaw together. So let's get our basic beige piece. Oh, I've got to go up a little bit. Okay, and now if you're crafting along, just get your little pieces. I think I tried to keep them in order, but this is just a little bit of a jigsaw. So just go along and place your jigsaw together, and you'll see it sort of coming together like so. So I will just sit that there if anybody needs to sort of just have a little look at that. Should have got a new glue out, and we'll get that out now just in case I need it. So I'll just sit that there and let everyone get their jigsaw happening. Okay, and now it's just a matter of attaching them to our basic beige piece of cardstock. I'm going to get my little silicone mat out because I just want to. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of my squares, if I can pick them up. Okay, and then place them down, giving them a little border all the way around. And I'm going to do the one beside it. I think that's the easiest way to go. That's best. So you're just piecing your jigsaw back together. And you might think, why cut it up? Just leave it all in one. And if you wanted to do that, you could. But I think it just makes for interest when it's a bit like a mosaic tile situation. Now just make sure I'm putting this one down properly. There we go. And that one's going to go here. So I can just sort of, yeah. You know what I might do? I might do this one next. The bottom one, bottom left. And then I've got my spacing right. There we go. I think that one's a bit crooked, but I think it's too late. It's fine. Now I'll just go back and put these ones on. Now I can't claim these designs as my own. I did see Lynn done a US demonstrator do these, and I thought that's such a cool way of using the paper. I'm always looking for cool ways to use the paper up. Now that's going to go there, or clever ways to cut your paper so that you have, you know, you get the most out of it, because, oh, that didn't work. You want to get the most out of your beautiful papers. Okay, so that's that. So let's get our piece of Mossy Meadow. So let's put that there. So this is the card we're doing, the first card. Now I just put a little bit of glue down the side of our Mossy Meadow strip, like so, and I just got our panel and just put it over the top, giving, and you can do as much or as little as you want. I'm going to move mine in a fraction and just push that down, and that's it. That's make sure it's even. Yep, looks even. And oh, that's the other card. Hang on, this is the card I want. The card base. Then get your card base. Now I put it down flat on my card base. I'm working too low, aren't I? I need to fix that. If you want to pop it up, you can, but I think it looks fine just down low. And we're just going to get our glue or our tape or whatever adhesive you like to use. And move it over and just line it up so that you've got a border top and bottom pretty much the same, and just push it down. And then get your little strip of paper and your Mossy Meadow ink, if that's the ink you're using. You could also use basic beige, might be a bit too light. I like to use darker inks for my sentiments, so that's why I've gone with Mossy Meadow. Now I put just a note on my sample card. I am going to put celebrate on this one, because I find that I need more sort of celebrates and happy birthdays and things like that than anything else. That's too small. Let's just, okay, so ink it up and just stamp it. Stamp your sentiment. I'll close that up just in case. And then grab your snips and snip it off. Put the other piece back for the next card. Oh, come on, you can do it. And then I put it down here. If you want to put it somewhere else, you can. And I pop that up with little mini dimensionals. Come on. Just like so. You've got to love our dimensionals and our take your pick tool. All wonderful accessories to have. Now I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to line it up with the edge of my paper here and just pop it there. And I'm not over the top of it, so I can't see if I've got that straight. Yes, I think I have. And now I am going to look for my bling, if I can find my bling. Did I put it in here? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, these are the pressed flower motifs that are from this set. And I just put two up the top here, a large one and a small one. Sometimes people do 3, sometimes you do 5. I don't know, but these ones I think just, you don't need too many of these ones. They're such beautiful detailed embellishments that I think 2's enough. Now you should have Pretty sure I put inserts in. Yes, I did. I remember writing insert on it in pencil. So you can always just rub that off. And if you've got your cloud cover ink pad, or they didn't actually sell these, I think you could get them on the last chance product list, but they weren't guaranteeing that the ink would be right. I bought mine and it's fine. But they are suggesting and recommending, if you want cloud cover. Where is my re-inker for cloud cover? Goodness gracious. Where is it? Is it in here at all? Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. I found it. Black Memento's in front of it. You can buy cubes. You can buy 5 cubes. Oh, I think these are $17.50 for 5 cubes, I think. And the re-inker for, is it $5.75? And you can re-ink a little cube. And it won't, the colour will be okay on this because these are foam. No, these are felt, sorry. The ink was reacting with the foam ink pads, and they wouldn't guarantee that it would be the right colour. These are felt ink pads, and they said that they won't react with the felt. So that's the way of getting around if you need a Secret C ink pad. So I am going to stamp a little flourish or a little flower like I did on my inside my card here from the Gallery Bloom stamp set. If you don't have the Gallery Bloom stamp set, you could use any stamp that you like to put something inside your card. I'll leave that up to you. So I'm just going to grab my Secret C and stamp it down here. It's very grey, a grey blue, like a duck egg blue. And as I said, mine is fine. Mine stamps really well, but they didn't want to guarantee it for everybody. So then you just attach your insert to the inside of your card. And you watch, I'll get glue spurtage there because that glue is too close to the edge. And move that over. There we go. I didn't. Look at that. And then if you've got your envelope, just stamp something similar onto your envelope, and that's card number 1 done. So let me know when you're ready for me to continue on to card number 2. Everyone's really quiet. Have I put you to sleep already? I hope not. I do hope not. Hi Sheila, how are you? Nice to see you join in with us. Okay, so I will just keep going. Tell me to stop if you want me to stop, and so you can catch up. This one I'll put that over here. That's card number 1. This is card number 2. And this is the other half of our 6x6 paper that we've got. So once again, another super simple card. We're just going to put our pieces on our white, basic white matting piece. Now this time I do the top and the bottom first and put the one in the middle at the end. Let me just... This is the only piece of the paper, the back side of the roses, that I don't like in this whole paper pack. Every side of the paper I love. Just that sort of map looking one, I think I don't like that. So that's the top piece. And we'll grab the bottom piece. And make sure you can match your flowers up. Don't stick it up and then realise it. That would be sad. So make sure your jigsaw puzzle's going together. Which one? This one? Marilyn, this one? This one's basic white. And this one was basic beige. It's a little bit hard to determine to tell the difference, I know, with the camera. But that's basic beige with a strip of mossy meadow, and this is basic white. Okay, so now I've got my middle piece. And I'm going to pop that in there, making sure my flowers are sort of matching. There we go. And once again, you can pop this up if you want. I haven't on my sample card. Look, let's be ambitious. The DSP colour. What is the background colour on the piece of DSP? Oh, you mean like here? Here? Is that what you're meaning? Like this background colour? Oh, the card base. Yeah, the card base is cloud cover. Yes. And is that what you're meaning here, Marilyn? On this piece of disc. I don't know what it is. Let me have a look and see. Where's the paper? Paper. Let me see the paper pack. I think it's just like a watered... Yeah, I reckon that's just a watered down mossy meadow. But let me have a look. Basic beige, basic black, basic grey, calypso coral, cloud cover, crumb cake, early espresso, grey granite, lost lagoon, mossy meadow, peach pie, pecan pie, secret sea, and smoky slate. I reckon that's just, to me, that looks like a watered down mossy meadow. That's what I reckon that is. Do you reckon it's pecan pie? This has got pecan pie here in the roses. Can you see the pecan pie here? I'm not sure what colour that background colour is, Marilyn. Good question. But it tones in with mossy meadow. Now, I put this down flat on my sample card. And if you want to put it down flat, you certainly can. But I'm going to put mine up on dimensionals. I'm going to go rogue with my next card. Because you know me, I love going rogue. I always think, let's do it. And I'll just put a couple in the middle. Why not? And there we go. You're welcome. Okay, now I put this over a little bit more to the right so I can put my embellishments just off the card panel, off this panel. So I'm going to do that again. Just making sure I'm getting it straight. I love this paper. Can you tell? And once again, I only put 2 on because I think 2 was enough. I just think 2's enough. They're just such detailed embellishments that you don't need any more than that. But if you've got these embellishments at home and you want to add more than I've done, you can, because they're your own cards. That's that. Now, I didn't tie myself my own bow. Here's my other little strip, and I'm going to do Celebrate again. Because I just think Celebrate can be birthday, can be anything. And because I'm sort of supplying the little shop up the road, the little gift shop, I think Celebrate can cover many things. There we go. And again, just get your paper snips and snip it off. If you want to trim it down a fraction, you can. And I put that there. So let me grab some little mini dimensionals. Oops. Oh look, it's sticking to me. Looking forward to dinner tonight. My husband said, let's do a barbecue. He said, it's getting to barbecuing weather. And I thought, oh, I'm in that. All I have to do is do a salad. I guess. I agree. So I'm just going to pop that up there. Now I'll put it in line with my paper in this one, so maybe I should do the same. And I'm just going to, did I do that straight? I really have to work out my camera a little bit better because I'm sort of working up too high so that my head doesn't come in, and then it gets problematic. Now let me have a look. You will have a basic beige ribbon in your card pack if you're crafting along, and it should already be tied as a bow. So why I didn't already tie mine is beyond me, because that would have been a good idea, but that's okay. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Just got to put some salad onto the plates, and he's going to barbecue. It's not daylight saving yet, but that's only a couple of weeks away. Okay, so I'm just going to trim my bow down. You might need to trim your bows. I tend to leave longer tails on them when I make them for other people, because I don't know how long people like their tails. Salad weather, yes, exactly. I know, I am so excited. I'm sad, aren't I? I get very excited about silly things. Okay, now you can put your bow anywhere, but I just decided to put it underneath my sentiment, and I just sort of tucked it under so it didn't sort of stand up, or you can put it down a bit further if you don't like it. There, but that's where I put it. So this colour cardstock really doesn't need an insert, but I just decide to put inserts in most of my cards. So once again, I'm just going to do a little flower from the Gallery Blooms stamp set in the corner. I do like to just put something on my inside of my card, on my insert. Yeah, I'm glad I got a new glue pot out, because that one I feel is getting quite low. So that is card number 2 done. Those 2 cards were just putting a jigsaw puzzle together. So that's card number 2. They were pretty easy, and you got 2 cards out of 1 piece of designer series paper. Oh, your daylight savings next weekend. Oh, that's, I don't think ours is. I'm sure ours is the long weekend here in Australia. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I think it is. And how easy was that to cut your 6x6 piece of paper down? I mean, it wouldn't work with all of the papers in this paper pack. Like the ones that have got like a real scenery piece, that wouldn't work. But other ones, you just sort of go through your pack and you have a look. So this is your 6x6 piece of paper. You cut it in half at 3 inches. Then you cut this piece at 4.5 inches, and that's your scrap that's left over. And then you cut 1.5 inch squares, and then you just picture piece them, jigsaw puzzle them back together. And this piece of 3x6 you cut at 1.5 inch, you cut at 2 inches, and then 1.5 inch, and that's your piece of scrap left over. And then you just piece them back together. And I hang on to these ones. That one could be used on the inside if you wanted to. Hang on, I've got to take the backing off this piece. You can't really stamp on the back of that grid paper, but yeah, I thought it was Marilyn. And then I thought, oh, maybe I've misread it. Maybe I'm out of whack. Anything's possible. Hang on to these pieces because you can use them. But that's how I divided up this piece of 6x6, and it's quite thanks Sheila, thanks Marilyn, thanks for putting me on the right track. And and that's quite good, quite interesting. As I said, it wouldn't work for all the pieces in this paper pack, 'cause the scenery ones it wouldn't work with, but this is a nice one for a lot of papers. Okay, so that's card number 1 and card number 2. So if people, and just put these aside. keep. Okay, now this, I've got to take my matter packs. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I do want to know. I love daylight saving. I know a lot of people don't, but I love it. I just think daylight saving is the best. I like being able to go for a walk early in the morning before it gets too hot, and I like to be able to go for a walk when I get home from work because it's still daylight. Okay. I think it's just the best thing. My mum didn't like daylight saving. But that's okay. Okay, so these are the next 2 cards, cards 3 and 4. So let me know when you're ready to continue, if you're crafting along. That must be for the last card. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I cut this paper as well. So our card bases are basic beige. So we've got 2 basic beige card bases. I really like this basic beige colour. It's really nice. Have I got everything I need? Where? Oh, there. For a minute, I thought, oh, haven't got it all. So that's that. And then you've got 2 pieces of basic white embossed with the beautiful motif embossing folder that's part of the suite. This one, beautiful, love it. And they're going to go on both cards. I'm just checking. Let's put that over here. That's a piece of Mossy Meadow. So your pieces of Mossy Meadow will be, one will be, I think it's 4 centimeters, yes, and one will be 3 centimeters. So card number 3 has got the wider piece of Mossy Meadow, and card number 4's got the skinnier piece. These 2 pieces of embossed cardstock are exactly the same. Let me just shimmy up a little bit. Okay, so your 3-inch strip's going to go on this one. Okay, now you will have your designer series paper already pre-cut. Once again, I wanted to show you how I cut them. So let me move these out of the way. Nobody said I'm going too fast, so I hope I'm not. Okay, let's get our trimmer. Now this one is this piece of paper from the paper pack, and it's beautiful. This is kind of the colour in the background of this. A little, no, it's not really, but I really think it's just like a watered down Mossy Meadow, the swoosh. Yeah, so we're going to cut it at 2 3/4 straight down, and then at 5 1/4, and then you'll have a piece left over of 3 1/4, and we're going to cut that off at 5 1/4, and you'll have a piece left over. Well, you've already got them cut, so let me do this. So 2 3/4. There we go. And I'm not going to do it together because that could be fraught with danger. 5 1/4. So we're cutting off that little bit. Keep it. That side's really handy. So I'll put that there. And this is the other one. So it's now 3 1/4. Where are we here? Yep, 3 1/4, and we're going to make it 5 1/4. Keep it because we're going to use it. I'm going to use both actually. So let's do card number 3. So let's get that one out of the way, put that there, and move that down. So this is number 3. And now, I had a disaster when I was prepping. I ran out of linen thread. I know. Is that even a thing, that you should run out of linen thread? I went to measure them out for all the cards, and I was scrambling through my drawer. Couldn't find any linen thread. This was like all I had left. I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? Well, then I remembered I got this early espresso and old olive linen thread. That's from the online store. So I think I put in the early espresso because I thought the old olive might clash. I can't actually remember. I think I gave you early espresso. Did I give you early espresso or did I give you old olive? Deb, can you tell me what's illegal? What's illegal? What have I said? What's illegal? I know. Oh, yeah, running out of linen thread. I know. That it is illegal. Like, it's just a no. You don't run out of linen thread. That's just, I got them sitting in my cart. I think I've got about 5 packs sitting in my cart ready for my next order because you can't run out of linen thread. Now, Deb, can you tell me which one I put in the kits? Because I can't remember. I cannot remember. I did cut these up a week ago. So, early espresso, thank you. I hope that's good. I hope that's going to work. I think I thought the old olive wouldn't look any good. And it probably would have looked all right. But anyway. But this is linen thread as well. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, if you want to, and I know there's some people that cannot handle tearing. But see how on this piece we tore it down, giving it a bit of a rustic look. If you want to, you can tear your paper. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but it is going to be a little bit bigger on your page, on your card. So let's stick our Mossy Meadow piece down first. And onto our embossed piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to use my grid paper here just to get it straight. And you can see I just put it in, I don't know, two grid lines and just put it in. Now it might just be a smidge longer because when you do emboss something, it kind of cinches the paper in. And it might be hanging over a little smidge, so just trim that off. Okay, so we're not putting that onto the card base yet because we've got to wrap our linen thread around. Now, if you're going to tear, let me just do this before you do it. If you tear towards you, yes, is that right? If you tear towards, yeah, if you tear towards you, you will get the white core of the paper. Can you see that? Now, I hold my fingernails quite close so that it doesn't sort of go out of control. And I'm just going to tear down. And it's going to be very rough and rustic. And I know you're probably having a conniption. And then I'm going to sort of go across like this to this corner. I know some people can't tear. I know it causes them stress. And you don't have to. But it is fun. Okay, so that's my piece torn. And then I'm going to put it down on my paper like so. So you don't throw this out because you know what? You can use this. See? You can use this. You can use this. Or you can use this piece. See, that's the back That's the bottom of that piece that we cut off. So yeah, hang on to them, and I'm going to stick this down. I used to have one of my dear friends who used to come to my classes. She's been a demonstrator for many years now, and I don't know if Margaret can still, I think she still has trouble tearing. I think she still has an issue with it. She just couldn't do it. And she couldn't crumple. Very economical. Absolutely. Well, there is a cost of living crisis, isn't there, Sheila? I suppose there is in your country as well as ours. It's all they ever talk about, cost of living crisis. You've got to be economical. Okay, so I'm just making sure that sticks down because we've got an embossed panel beside it, like underneath it. Okay, so that's what our panel's looking like now. Now, with your Mossy Meadow Early Espresso Baker's Twine, we're going to, now this is how I do it. I put it on the back. I think I gave you heaps. I hope I gave you heaps. I tried to give you heaps. I just stick it on the back with a piece of double-sided tape. That's how I do it. Now that's too far over, I think. Let me look. Oh no, that will work. And then I just wrap it around 2 or 3 times. And this just gives texture. Makes it a bit tactile. And then I get my double-sided tape again, and I'm just going to stick it down like so. Grab my scissors and pull it off. That's how I do it. I just find that's easier. And then you can just sort of manipulate it across a little bit if you want it further over. Now, I'll look at my thing. It's all coming off in a skew width manner, and I don't like it. Then oh, look at that. It's just untangling, unraveling like a, yeah. Then I doubled over a piece, and I tied a bow. So that will give you like a double bow. And if you're clever, this piece, this extra, it will give you 3 loops, but this loop is actually going to be your tails of one of the loops. Does that make sense? Let me just pull that in a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to get my scissors and cut my tails. Yeah, it is an easier way of doing that. I get into all sorts of troubles if I try to do it another way. I see some demonstrators do it and I think, oh gosh, they're clever, but you know, not so much me. Now, you don't have to do this, but I do like doing it. With my linen thread, I get my pokey tool. It's the kids next door in their backyard playing. It's not, you know, someone being tortured. And I just fray it. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you don't like sort of that messy sort of look or rusticy look. My tails are probably too long. Oh, maybe not. Let me just try over here again. Here a bit too. I always hold on to the knot because, yeah, they're too long. I want to cut them down. I'm going to get my ribbon scissors. I'm going to cut them down. You should have enough linen thread to do all of this. If you don't want to wrap around, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. Let me just get over here. Okay, so I'm just going to just get the pointy tool in there. Hold on to the knot of your bow so it doesn't come undone. And just drag it down. And that frays your linen thread apart. And it gives it quite a nice look, I think. Come on. Now look, why aren't you cooperating for me? There we go. That will do for that one. And then I'll go you can sort of just see it's a little bit more feathered than if you don't. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. It's a bit, you know, fiddly. But sometimes fiddly things give a good effect. Come on. It doesn't seem to, actually, this twine doesn't seem to, or thread doesn't seem to fray as easily as the linen thread does. Come on. It's a different texture actually. It's not fraying as well. So that's interesting. And it does actually feel a little bit thicker than the linen thread. That'll do. We won't go on. And then just grab a glue dot. And I put that wherever I want to put my bow. I'll put that there. And stick that down. There we go. And that's, now we can put it onto our card base. But that's why we didn't do it first, because we were wrapping the thread around. The kids sound like a cat crying. It's the little girl. She's a handful. I think she's a real handful. But that's okay. I can listen to the handful and not have to deal with it. Okay, so now I'm going to put that down flat. So you can use glue or tape, whichever you choose to use. And if you want, you can also take the backing off your double-sided tape, because that's an extra bit of gluing that you can make use of. Just making sure I've got glue everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but you know what I mean. Okay, and now we're going to just stick this down to our card base, and just leaving a border all the way around. Looks quite nice actually, doesn't it? Looks different. I think that's sort of a softer, more muted look with the linen thread. Now, is that straight? Hope so. Okay, now I think I need to put that. Look, this is what you use your floral washi tape for. Glue holder. I think just a note. Do I do just a note, or do I do something else? Let's look. I'll get rid of that. I am going to throw this out. I know. I'm not going to use that piece. I did actually use this piece to make that and cut it down, but you know what? I think we could probably go. Maybe I'll do that. And then I'll just cut it down. So use the back of that piece of paper for your sentiment. Now I'm going to do Celebrate again because I'm boring. What else have I got in that? Actually, I might do a Thinking of You this time round, because they're quite good cards to have up at the shop. So let me clean that off. That'll do. Okay, Thinking of You. But yeah, so I'm using sentiments out of the Beautiful Motif Suite. What's no, no, no? What have I done? Oh, throwing that scrap out. I know. Well, look, come on now. What can you do with that? I can't think of anything I could do with that. I have to be a little bit, you know, mindful of not keeping everything. I'm going to just stamp my Thinking of You here. There we go. That was with Mossy Meadow ink. Okay, so that's on the back of that piece of Designer Series paper. And I am going to trim it down a fraction. Just a fraction. And I am going to throw that out too, Sheila. Not enough twine to make a bow. Oh, I'm so sorry, Deb. I thought I gave heaps. Oh, well, that's okay. The bow actually looks a bit chunky. Do you think the bow looks a bit chunky? I think it looks a bit chunky. It'll be fine. I thought I gave you heaps. I was winding it off. Oh, well. And this is, you can tear as well. See, on our sample card, you can tear. Have you got this thread, Deb? If not, you might need to add it to an order. It is, I don't even have it written down. It's Early Espresso and Old Olive linen thread. It's in the online store. Now, that's my puppy dog going off and up now. And let me write the price on it because I haven't got that written down anyway. Rosie, do you need to bark? Is it in the online store? Or have I made that up? Maybe I've made that up. Oh, there it is. Look, $15.75. You get two spools. $15.75 online exclusive. Sorry, Deb. Okay, now, can you see that I tore on this one? Well, let's do it again. So just put your fingernails sort of up close together and tear to the left to match that. And I am going to throw that piece out. Thank you for understanding. And then just stick that on your card wherever you'd like. I did put that up on dimensionals, so let me grab some dimensionals. There we go. And I put that sort of over here, the little branches. So I might do that again. And that's that. It's nice when you've got understanding friends, when you don't put enough stuff in your supplies. And once again, I've just done two. And I'll put them up there. Will I do that again? I think I will. I'm just sort of doing it in a gap on the embossing folder. Oh, that's crooked. Move over. Move over, Red Rover. Come on, over you come. There we go. Okay. I am having a ripping time, aren't I? I know how some people struggle with it. Okay, now I would have given you an insert. Oh, did I give you a scrap? I don't know if I gave you a scrap. I can't remember. I'll have to see if Deb can tell me if I gave you a scrap for your insert, because I cannot remember. That's basic beige I want. You like ripping? So Deb, did I give you a scrap or not? I can't remember. If I didn't, and if you've got the beautiful motifs, what is it called? Beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper. Just go to your little scrap packet, like me, and this is what I do. I just get out a scrap, and that one's going to serve me quite well. I think that one looks fine. And I just put it down the side of the insert, but you can use any scrap that you think works, and that's long enough. But yeah, I normally have a bag of scraps that I can just sort of embellish the insides of my cards with. And see, I don't think blue works for that. I think no scrap. I'm sorry, I'm so slack. I do apologize. You'll have to sack me. Or if you've got the stamp set or the papers, you can just add a scrap later. Oh, did I do that up high enough? I didn't. I'm going to try and pull that back off. Deb, tell me, do you have this stamp set? Do you have this suite? Or the paper? I know there's a couple of other ladies that have to watch the... Give me the sack, yeah. Give me the sack. I reckon you should. I know a couple of ladies who have to watch the replay. They got their kits, but will have to watch the replay. And, like, they'll probably sack me as well. Okay. I'm going to do my little flower again. No. You do love the paper. The paper's worth having, Deb. Just get the paper. Just bite the bullet and get the paper. And I'm just going to put the little flower from the stamp set there. And I'd put that on the envelope as well. And I used basic beige there, so I didn't tell you about basic beige. Okay, now we're going to put our insert in. And that will be card number 3 finished. So it's a few little techniques with this card. And I'm going to be sacked because I didn't put a strip in for the insert and I didn't give you enough for the bow. Now, I want to know who likes the normal linen thread and who likes the early espresso linen thread. I actually think I prefer the normal linen thread. I think it's sort of softer. It's the one and it does fray it more easily. This is a little bit thicker and heavier. I think it's harder to fray. Well, the little girl next door is having a bit of a conniption, I think. I think she's going to be a handful as a teenager. But you know what? Not my problem. Okay, that's card number 3. I'm going to put my baker's twine. It's not baker's twine, it's linen thread, but it's coming off the roll. It's just, it's a disaster. That's card number 3. What's going on? There we go. Okay, let's bring the other half of that paper in. So it's 3 and 4. And this is the other half of the paper. So that's that piece, and we've got this piece, and we're going to use it. Okay, so, and this is why you needed to keep this little piece, because that's where your hello is going to come from. So, let's get rid of that. Let's put that there. Let's. Now, this one, I put down the embossed piece of white cardstock and then the mossy meadow over the top, like so. So let's do that. If you want me to shut my window to block out the kids next door, I can certainly do that. So put that down, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong with this motif one. I just sort of do it the same way every time, so I don't know if I'm doing it upside down or if there is even an upside down to it. Straight down onto your card base, and then this is your mossy meadow 3 centimeter strip. And pop that over the top of that piece and just press that down. Now we're going to do some more tearing. Oh, good. That's good. Okay, we're going to do some more tearing. So get ready. Okay, so this is our other piece of cardstock. Designer series paper, I mean. and we're going to tear from the left hand side over to the right, and you can use the back of that for your hello if you don't have a big enough hello piece. This piece is going to go on top of it because I just thought that looked really pretty. So just grab your paper and tear towards you, and that will give you the white core, like so. Oh, I almost did that identical. That's a miracle. And that's going to go straight down onto your card base, and this is the same width, so it's 3 and what is it, 3 1/4, so it's going to work perfectly. If you don't want to put that piece on, you don't have to. So just going to put that flat down. We don't have to do any twine on this card, Deb. Yay. And just position it depending on how far you've torn down, depends on how far up you can go. Like I'm going up a bit higher because I've obviously not torn quite as much off. Your tearing never works. Okay, well then that's, I find if you're tearing, I don't want to tear that piece. If you're tearing towards yourself and you've got your fingers close enough, it doesn't sort of get out of control. You can control it a little bit better. Does that make sense? Okay, now this is your little piece here of, I don't know, French. Felicity, who will be doing this class later, she would tell me that that's French, I'm sure. And I'm just going to put it over the top. I just think it's a really little interesting piece, and it just creates some interest. But if you don't want to put it on, don't, and you can stamp on the back of that piece if you want to. I'm just going to put that there. It seems criminal to cover anything up, doesn't it? Okay. And then I've got 2 pieces here that have been torn. And you should have a bow. I'll do my bow now, whilst you're thinking about which piece you're going to use for your sentiment. And I didn't tear this sentiment, I just cut it, like I left it sort of neatly cut. Okay, there we go. I don't even know how the kids have any backyard left next door to play in. After the monstrosity of a shed that went in. But anyway, I guess they have got some backyard to play in because they're out there playing, so. Okay. Alright, I'm going to get my scissors. And I think I will put... You're just uncontrollable. Sheila, you need to get into control. Okay, I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of my ribbon. I normally do 2 because I just think it's extra stick. And I'm going to just put it over here. Just here. There we go. And I've got glue on my fingers. And then I'm going to work out what sentiment I want. I think I'll just celebrate on this one. Have I got celebrate out? I have not. It's not really the way to clean your stamps, Denise, but that's the way you'll do it today. So as long as you've got a little sentiment enough to fit on any of these little pieces of paper. I'm going to stamp first and then I'll cut. Or maybe I could put the torn piece on. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp Celebrate in Mossy Meadow. 100%. 100% agree with that, Sheila. They're out playing and not on devices. 100% agree. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim down my little Celebrate. And now their dog's going to start barking. Oh dear. There we go. Now I know this is going to shock you, but I probably will throw those out. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put that into my bag of scraps. And then I put this up on little dimensionals. I put it along here, but if you want to put it somewhere else, you can, but that's where I put it. And actually, I'm going to use big dimensionals. Okay. And I'm just going to put it, and that's the way of using it. It makes it an interesting piece of background for your sentiment. You'd put that down the bottom. You could do that. Yeah, you could put it anywhere. I still think it looks nice. Even though it's hiding some of the flowers, I still think it looks quite nice. But yeah, that's up to you. And like, you don't even have to put that on if you don't want to. Oh no, another strip of paper I haven't supplied. Oh dear. Well, that's okay. We don't need a strip of paper in here. Let's not do a strip of paper. Okay, let's just stamp a little flower image in Mossy Meadow. And you can stamp that on your envelope as well. Honestly, I need to be sacked. And then just stick your insert in. Basic Beige doesn't really need an insert, but I like to do an insert in my cards. Okay, so I just think it looks nice. And it's always nice to have something stamped or a little bit of paper to trim it up. So that's card number... my eyes aren't good today. It doesn't look the right same colour, but it is. Yeah. Just for a minute it just looked a different colour and I'm thinking, have I given the wrong coloured card base out? No. No, surely not. No. Okay, so that is... it certainly doesn't look right. Yes, it is. Basic Beige, yeah. That's card number 4. And they're the 2 cards using that one piece of 6 by 6. And we cut it at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And we used the scrap for the sentiment. And we cut this one. This one was left with 3 1/4. So we cut it at 5 1/4 and we cut off the little French saying. And we stuck that on. But if you wanted to stick that somewhere else, you certainly could. Oh, hang on, bling. Got to put bling on. It balances the layers out. Yeah, I don't mind it there. I know it's hard to cover lots of things up, but, you know, sometimes we just have to be brave. And I've only done 2 again because I think they're so detailed and they're quite heavy that it only needs 2. So that's card number 4. 3 and 4. We've only got one more card to go. What are we up to? Oh, an hour and a quarter. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, my green tea is completely cold, but I'll just swig the last bit down. And we will get card number 5 out. I'll put those 2 there. And I might get my chamois and clean my stamps off properly. There we go. Now this is where I think my secret C comes into play, or black memento. I'll put that there. Okay, so card number 5. Last card, ladies. I'll get it out of its plastic sleeve so it's not being problematic. Okay, this is it. This is it. And I don't need to show you how to cut any papers down. And I think this one is actually the most trickiest one, which I should have probably done first because we all would have been fresh then. So card number 5. Okay, so I've got extra pieces here. I tend to do that sometimes, just cut extra pieces up. So this is the Secret Sea card base. And we're doing it as a landscape card. And we don't need all of these, Denise, put them aside. Okay, that's an insert. Okay, we're using, now what is that measurement? That is 7 centimeters by 13. And this, when I say this is the hardest one, it's just a little bit tricky getting everything right on your card. It's not really that hard. And this is a beautiful flower, the roses, the blues and smoke cloud cover roses. And then this is the back of that piece as well, and I've put that, so just lay them onto your card base first. Now that is going to be a little bit bigger. This strip's a little bit longer. I'm just going to center it, but that's to tie in with the size of the frame. So that's what, so we're going to do this down a bit lower. So sort of position this on your card base and centered with the same border either side. And then we're going to put that one there. And it is a fraction smaller. I could have made it the same size, and I should have probably done that to make it easier for you, but I didn't think of that. And now it's all just not staying put. And then the frame is just going to layer over the, hang on, let me just have a moment. Let me just have a moment here. I wonder if it'll be easier to attach the frame. Yes, that will be easier, I think. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's attach this piece of designer series paper to the bottom of our frame. Let me just think if that's going to work. Just bear with me a moment. Hold please. Yes, that's going to work, I think. Yes. And then that's going to go in here. Like so. We're going to have to put that. Okay. Pop some glue or tape or whatever you're using on the back, on the bottom of your frame. And then put your, turn it over so you've got this side sticking, it's going to be facing up, and put it up to the bottom of the frame. Like, don't go over too far. Just put it up to the bottom of the window. Does that make sense? I think that should make sense. I hope that makes sense. There we go. I think that's straight. That's as crooked as a dog's hind leg. Crooked as. Okay. And that gives you a little border at the bottom. Okay. So now we're going to, no, we need it to go up a little bit higher. Or we need to trim it down. Oh no, it fits. It does fit. It does fit. Yes, it does fit. I must have done it a little bit shorter and narrower. I did. Now, if you want to trim that down, you can. Let's trim it down. Let's get our trimmer out and trim down our little piece of paper. Just take a little sliver off it. And that will make everything happy. Because we want everything to be happy. That's better. See, it's better to give you too much. And then we're going to just slide this underneath. and attach it on the sides of your frame. So put glue on the sides of your frame and put your roses behind. Yes, so just down like so. I think that's right. And just make sure it fits inside your frame, but you know, it's not going to be gaping, like you want, not going to have a space up there. Oh, your strip is smaller than the frame, just a tad. Ah, can you stretch it? Well, that's all right. That's okay. I haven't lined mine up very well, and mine's smaller now too, just a tad. And then just put glue. You'll have to get the paper, Deb. And glue everywhere. These frames are really good for scenery cards. Yeah, mine, I've cut mine. Mine's a bit smaller too. Look, you don't have to sack me. There we go. As I said, this one was just a little bit trickier, just to sort of get it lined up. But once you've got it, it's good. And it's just showcasing the beautiful papers. You can see that's a different piece of the paper, section of the paper. And I know this is a really funny little strip to have, but we've got it. And I've got a tiny, tiny, tiny little banner from the Stylish Shape dies. And I think I cleaned that. And I used a For You from a stamp set that I had. I think it was, that's not it. Did I have it up here? No, that's a dog one. That's not going to look any good on that. I think it's from, oh, I know, it was from some kit. And I put it in with Simply Said. It was from a kit. I can't remember which kit. Oh, yes, I can. It was the Heirlooms Arrangement Kit. And it's got this really, really, really good For You. Because I think that just covers lots of things. So, if you've got a tiny weeny sentiment for your little weeny banner, you can do whatever sentiment you've got that fits. The hello out of the beautiful motifs would fit. That would work. Now, we're going to put a little bit of tape on the back of our banner with our little pieces, little strip of Secret Sea. And then mine's too long, so I'm just going to guesstimate and then I'll snip. So I want it just, I think yours will be too long as well, so I just want a little fraction poking out, and I'm going to use the little banner to give me the center, and then I will snip off this bit here. There we go. And it's just a little way of decorating up the banner. And then that's going to go, mine's got a rough edge. That's going to go up on dimensionals. So I will get my smidgy dimensionals, or my mini dimensionals, I should call them. I'm going to put them along here. There we go. And you can put it on the center of your frame, or you can put it down a bit lower like I've done here. Up to you. I've got a little bit of glue there. Let me just get rid of that glue. There we go. And this is just really showcasing the paper. The paper is doing most of the work. Will I go smidgy down, or will I go on? I think I will put it down. And is that centered? That looks pretty good. Go for it. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And you should have an insert, oops, in your kit. And I am going to once again put a little flower inside. So you can use any flower if you don't have this stamp set. And I'd stamp the same flower on my envelope. And my glue. There we go. I need some more down there. And here we go. Open up our card. And pop that inside. Is that right? That's straight. Okay, and then final thing, as our little embellishments. Now you should have 2 large ones left over. I hope I got that right. And I just put them on either side of the banner. There we go. And you know, if you wanted to do a little bit, you could do a little bit of Winker Stella on your roses if you wanted to. That would be entirely up to you. Oh, where's that go? That goes there. And that goes there. And let's clean our stamps off before we put our card in them. So that's card number 5. Little bit tricky, sort of lining everything up, but not too bad. Now I will show you a couple more cards. Oh, that's the one of that. Yeah, it is a nice every all occasion card. That one goes back in here. And this one goes in here. It's a beautiful suite. It really is a beautiful suite. And although there's lots of dies and everything, I still think the paper is the hero of the suite. So I'll get rid of that. Okay, so that's our card. And the frames are beautiful. Put that over there. Let me show you a couple more. This was another one I did with the frames. I'll get it out of the papers. Out of the plastic. That's just sort of using a little piece at the 2 frames the same size, and then these, where are they? Here they are. This one I think it is. I just die cut that out and actually snipped the bits so it became a separate die and stuck them into the 2 different corners. And that's just a nice simple card, and the paper and the frames and the embossing folder doing all the work. This was another one I made. Oh, come on. This one I used this die, and I just put it in each corner of the paper, the size of the card front, and I cut the frame out on the scenery piece of paper, and I mounted this part of the frame up on dimensionals and stuck that down flat. And that's just another way of using this paper and these dies. And oh, this one's the same as the first card we made. The same 1.5 inch squares. So where's our first card? See, it's just the same, just a different piece of paper from the paper pack. And even though it's a scenery card, it looks okay. I think it looks okay anyway. So that's a few other cards that I've done with paper and the dies and everything. Oh, that's that one. So let's put all our cards down. So this was card number 5. I feel it was like the trickiest one. Maybe that was just me. This is card number 4. This is card number 3. And we did a bit of tearing. And this is card number 2. And card number 1. And that's one piece of 6 by 6 got you 2 cards. This one piece of 6 by 6 got you 2 cards. You could get 2 cards. You could get like these 2 cards out of another piece of 6 by 6, and you'd have paper to spare. So they're all our cards for today. Our card class for today using the beautiful gallery suite. So I hope you enjoyed those cards. I have a class for next month. I haven't made the cards up yet. It will be using, I'll show you what I'll be using. It will be using the Peaceful Garden Suite collection in the mini catalogue. Where is it? This one. So my next online class for October, I'll be using this suite collection. And once again, you'll just have to stamp your own sentiments, but it's got lots of standalone dies that I can do, and in the embossing folder and the beautiful paper. So I thought I'd use that one for the next card class, online class, and I'll just have to make those cards up. So let's go back to 1 hour and 36 minutes. How about that? That's not too bad. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with me for that hour and a half marathon. I hope your cards came together well, Deb. And I'm sorry there were a few things missing and I stripped not quite the right length and things like that. Apologies. It's really hard when you're cutting everything up. I try to get it right, but it's really hard sometimes. So thank you so much for joining with me this afternoon. I hope you have a nice rest of the day and a nice rest of the weekend, and I will see you Monday afternoon for Card and a Cuppa. Remember, if you place an order with me over $50, you'll get a little card pack in the mail for the next month's Make and Create event, and any orders I receive I do appreciate. So thank you again for joining with me this afternoon, and have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.